Welcome to La Fam's second show. Yay, guess who's here? I have two people here today. I have Miss Kira and her little baby in the belly, and I have Miss Erica Williams.
So it's actually four of us
Four
up
of
here.
us today.
And it's four ladies.
Yeah, so true. Four ladies. Oh, yeah, well, it's a femmes show, so
Yes.
females.
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about the pros and cons for sex and also STDs. So let's go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Miss Kira, you ready?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Okay, so first I know. I'm reading actually, sorry, from jamiebeck.com. I found this article. It says the pros and cons of too much sex. First, I know what you're thinking. Can a person have too much sex? Apparently, yes, it might be possible to max out on orgasm. At this point, you're either seriously bummed or secretly relieved. So psychology today, regular sex and orgasms have plenty of serious health benefits, such as curing insomnia. I don't know about that one. Relieving pain and reducing the risk of cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, and bladder problems, among other things. Sounds like a magic cure-all, right? Its benefit its benefits are mostly due to aerobic component of activity and its stress relieving effects. Now you're scratching your head and thinking that sounds like something I should be doing twice a day, every day like brushing my teeth. But apparently, there really might be too much of a good thing when it comes to the big O. A University of Pennsylvania study found that having sex twice per week bumped up germ fighting antibodies by 30%, but engaging in 3 to 4 times each week eliminates the improvement because an excess of an important peptide released during orgasm can act as immunosuppressant. I don't know. I have no clue. Another study of men showed that those who ejaculate less than, oh my gosh, 3 or more than 20 times per month have much lower risk of prostate cancer than those who fall in the middle. Something to keep in mind that when you deciding whether or not you're in the mood. Bottom line, there's no effect. There's no perfect amount of sex prescribed for optimal benefits without the negative side effects. It seems the old adage, moderation in all things, probably applies to sex too. But in case you are wondering what the type American adult sex life looks like, here are some statistics. Did you want to read some of the statistics? Uh-oh. Somebody boink.
Duo.
That's my son's tablet.
Oops.
Okay.
Saved by the bell. 77% of married couples, 30 plus, have sex 2 plus times per month. For singles, 36% of men and 17% of women mirror that statistic. You're, you're rolling your head. 43% of married men in their late 20s have sex 20 times per week, while only 7 of husbands over 70 do with that frequency. Married couples between 18 and 24 are having the most sex, with 60% having it at least twice per week. Since
That's a lot.
Yo, that's
They said they have it a lot twice a week.
That's a lot
they
for
said,
me.
but they said that 20-something-year-olds are having sex the most, and they said twice a week.
That's a lot.
that's what they're saying. They're saying it's a lot, basically. Since I'm 20 years past my prime, according to these stats, I prefer to focus on quality of sex rather than the quantity. Let's face it, obligatory sex isn't really good for anyone ever. I wonder if there are any studies about that. So she's being like sarcastic about it because, I guess because she's older.
Mm.
Um, so what's I mean, you study more than us about these things.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on this? Like how bad is too much and how much is enough? Like is there like a should there be a goal for ages
No,
or
I don't think so. I think it should come natural, but some people are a lot more into intimacy than they are into actually engaging in sex. To me, when you have it too much, it starts to become like the same thing. If you're not having it enough, then you walk around looking like me.
you look amazing
Pregnant.
by the way. Pregnant.
That's not possible.
Well, listen, I tell you
so
what,
so
everybody automatically assumes because of the number of kids that I have and the amount of pregnancies that I have that I'm very sexual, which is not true because of the lack of sex and the buildup that,
Your body
it makes it a lot easier for me to get pregnant because of that reason. So,
I mean that
that could I believe
like
I
my
that
body
could happen.
I
craves
think
it.
it could happen.
It did. It happened to me 10 times.
And she's gonna tell you that.
Straight up.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. There's people that are that. I mean, they're very fertile. I'm not sure if that's what the reason. I mean, you know more than me because you study this stuff. So I don't really know about like my. I mean, I only was pregnant a few times, but I mean, I only have two, but I was pregnant more than twice. But I think I don't even know. I just got pregnant like easy. But I mean I had a good sex life, meaning like I don't know how to consider a great sex life, but it was more than twice a week when I was married, whether I liked it or not, or whether I wanted it or not. I'm just saying. But
So you saying was like it's past tense, so was
no,
twice
but
a week.
I'm just saying when I was
So does that
married.
mean now it's more than twice a week? Because that's why you're not married anymore, and
I'm
that's
not.
why.
Thank God, I'm not.
Okay, so we're talking about now. So how about that?
So I go with how I feel. If I'm in the mood, I'm good. It don't matter. I could be in the mood every day. If I want it every day, if he wants it, we could. But we're not. I don't do every day. So
But that sounds like a rule.
it's no rule. Why would it be a rule?
Cause you said I don't do it. Like I don't
I
do
don't
windows.
do it every day.
I don't clean the bathroom. I don't do it every
No,
day.
I don't clean the bathroom either every day.
I wouldn't want to do it every day if I could, honestly. But if I did do it every day, I guarantee you I would never get pregnant. For me, that's me. That's just the way my body is built. After a while, you learn yourself.
Let's hear from you. Man.
I was trying to just ask questions today.
I'm asking you.
I mean, my thing is when you go down the list of what the good pros are for having a lot of sex, there were a lot of good things that sex helps manage and cure. So if you go down the list, of course, high blood pressure because you're releasing. So you're not holding all this stuff that's going on and your head is like about to explode.
Your
So
head is already like your head's not going anywhere.
No, but it said, right?
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
let's
it's-
go to the list of what it says
I don't know if
because
that's true.
depression. I agree with that one too. It helps with that too because you're releasing you're releasing endorphins and whatever you was upset about before you had sex.
It
After
says-
it, you'd be like, oh,
But it's not
that
saying a lot.
bad.
It has to be moderate. It don't say you are supposed to have sex every day to have these things to be cured. Like
No,
an
no, 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 no.
average person.
I wasn't saying that you should have
Okay.
sex every day. What I was saying is that you said I don't have sex every day, as if you
I don't.
didn't want to have sex
I
every day.
don't want to have.
I
sex
mean,
every
okay,
day.
not all right. Hold on. I was saying that you said it as if it was just. Sometimes it just happens.
It does happen
So
naturally.
you could have
Like she
it
said, it
7
happens
days
naturally.
in a row.
I don't
and
know about 7 days.
all right.
Oh my God, I couldn't do it. I was like that though with one of my kids' fathers. He wanted it every day, and we used to do it every day. And it got to the point where it became boring. It was like the same thing over and over and over again. And if you gotta spit my shit wet, then that's definitely not a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't getting
No, that's
turned
not.
on any longer
That's it.
by that. I like the intimacy, and if you're just like, okay, bend over and let me get in there, it's just not fun. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
my thing on
he
that.
shouldn't be doing that.
I wasn't.
Not
he
all the
shouldn't,
time.
But that's what's her case. You know, not every guy is the same. And like you said, you want to have it all. If you want to have intimacy and foreplay and all that,
Yes.
trust me, it's not gonna be a daily routine thing.
Hell no.
unless
No,
it's-
no, no. But there's the I mean, sometimes you just get a quickie. It's not always gonna be the same way.
But quickies
So-
turn you on too. If you're not turned on by a quickie and he got a spit started, that's not fun. That's not fun.
Yo.
No, it's not.
You know.
So did you want to hear the curing situation?
Yeah, let's see what it deals with.
So it cures insomnia.
Insomnia.
yeah,
Yeah,
If
because
it's done the right way.
after you do it, you're tired and you can go
Yeah.
to sleep now. That makes
Mine
that's
snores
like
before
that's
that and after, so it don't matter. Relieving pain and reducing the risk of cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, and bladder problems. Okay, so my father
because you're
had
flowing. Yes, you're flowing
my
constantly.
dad had
flowing.
diabetes. My dad had high blood pressure. My father had heart disease. He had cancer, and he had insomnia and he had pain,
Mhm.
and he was supposedly one of the sex addict men in history, according to, you know, my from what I've heard. I don't know, but what I've heard from like my mom, he used to like women. He loved to be sexually engaged
Mhm.
if he could have it every day. But this guy had all this.
But yeah, but wasn't he
Maybe it was-
older?
Yeah, but still, like,
So he
He
probably
had all
wasn't having
this.
sex the way he was having it when
maybe
he was
wasn't
younger.
done right.
No, he probably slowed down as he got older.
I mean, at 60, he had a child.
Damn, that sounds like my baby father. That sounds like how he
At
gonna be.
6 years old, he had a boy. He had my brother. He made my brother.
And your
Wow.
mom, with your
By my
mom?
Mhm.
Was your mother 62?
No,
Oh, okay.
my mom was 46.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah, my mom was much younger than him.
wow.
So when did he get sick? How old was he when he got sick?
Right, I would say like 2-3 years after,
And he had all that at the same time?
he had diabetes. I remember him with diabetes and high blood pressure before my brother. I remember him.
So
going-
he already had it.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know how much it's curable.
I mean, it's saying cancer. I
And
just feel
cancer.
like,
I don't know about that one. So
yeah.
Well, it does. For men, keeping the prostate at a normal size, which is done or achieved by ejaculating on a regular, does decrease the chances of getting cancer,
oh, wow.
prostate cancer. It does. As far as high blood pressure, mine the other day was 117 over 72, and I haven't
That's
had
low.
sex in over a year.
Isn't that low?
So yeah,
Yeah.
almost a year. Excuse me. So it's all right, but you do get stressed out, and if you can make someone realize that it does aggravate you and stress you out if you aren't getting that release like you should,
Mm-hmm.
it's always better. I just have gotten used to it, but as soon as I give birth, everything
That's another
walking,
story.
everything walking is getting some of me. So
Ah!
everything. Everything with
Sorry.
legs.
I love her too much to hear this.
Everything.
She said
I hope he's
everything.
watching too. Everything. Watching.
Everything walking, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Especially making you wait that long. I think when you're pregnant, that's when you want the most sex,
Oh,
and
I
it should
think
be.
Yeah,
so.
you're horny when you're
It
pregnant.
I
should be
remember
when men wanted it the most too. You don't got to worry about getting me pregnant
pregnant
again.
again.
Can't make people see what they don't want to.
Mm.
It is what it is. I'm about to get my freak on. That's what I'm counting down.
Weeks are coming up.
Yes.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks till I have her, hopefully, and then I'll never wait the whole 6 weeks. Fuck that. About a week later, I'm getting my ass
Lord.
bust.
Do you want to go to the second
What's the second one?
5 things unprotected sex can do to you? Get you pregnant.
Oh, okay. So
That's the pros. Pros and
So
cons.
pros are sex can help you stay healthy. Exposure to venereal diseases is the con.
Mhm.
So of course, I mean, it's relative. If you're dealing with a lot of people, the risk is higher. And some people don't like to use protection. So, you know,
Not too long ago, I went into Planned Parenthood. You know they have a medication called Trovid for people who are, um, a little bit more
sexually active.
for to stop you from getting HIV,
Yeah,
and they
from
kicked me
stopping you.
out because they asked me how many sexual partners I had, and I told them none, but I was going to, and they told me don't come back until I had more than 5. I was mad by that. If you want to try to prevent, I'm going to Planned Parenthood telling y'all I'm about to start fucking mad people.
Oh my God.
And so put me on the medication now.
So-
Put me on
So
the medicine.
Yo.
I was just being honest.
I'm proud of you for being responsible.
Oh my God.
I think that's good. I think that's good. You already know
already
you're trying to be
starting to prevent
proactive.
herself.
You're not trying to slip
She
up.
ain't
No.
playing. She just went to them just to be
So-
honest with them.
I
Listen,
sure did.
I'm letting you know after this, we out.
Yeah.
They
They told me not to come back until I was a little bit more promiscuous. So I'll be back. I
I'll be back right after this.
promise. I promise.
Yo.
Okay, so another is
Con.
that it increases chances of cervical cancer. Now, I never knew that.
Yeah. Well,
So
you wanna
it
talk
says
about
from birth for 2 different reasons.
Yep. The human Pavlova thing, the
Okay.
HPV, right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
vaccination.
I thank God I was still young enough when they started giving out the vaccine to be able to get the vaccine for it.
Mhm.
But anybody over the age of 25 was not able to get it.
Mhm.
But HPV, they start the vaccine for that at 12. They give it to you in 3 different doses.
Mm-hmm.
12, 14, and then my daughter just got her last one at 16.
Yeah, my son.
And it's supposed to, it does stop the human papillomavirus from growing in the uterus, which causes cancer.
Mhm.
It also stops the spread of, from a man. Boys get it too.
Yes, my son's got. One of them. The other one didn't want to get it.
Yeah,
But
the man can't spread it to the woman sexually as well. So it's supposed to be. It is
it's
really
supposed
good.
to be given to the girls mostly.
Right. I didn't know
Mostly.
boys could get it.
Yeah, boys
can
get
get
it
it
too.
before they're 26. So
Mhm.
my older one, he took it. My youngest one, he's mortified of shots, so he really don't want to take it. But once he joins the Air Force, he has no other choice because they will vaccinate them.
Yeah, as long as he
Mm.
gets it before he's 25,
Yeah.
he'll be okay. But
So a pro is that sex is a form of exercise, which I think that goes along with keeping your circulation and flowing and everything.
exercise.
Yeah.
What if you're only just getting it in one position all the time?
I mean, you're not supposed to be though. You're not supposed to be getting it in one position all the
was.
time. So it's definitely
Didn't you
not
feel like it was an
exercise. Like you
exercise
gotta be
for you?
different.
No, I was doggy style on my knees all the time. There was no nothing else. I wasn't getting exercise. I was getting was pregnant. That was it. That was it.
I don't go to the gym because I have sex regularly, and that's my form of exercise.
I wish I
Like,
could say that. I am though. I
Yeah.
am.
but it is. Seriously, it is.
I truly
You
feel like
working
an
out.
acrobat for like half an hour.
Yeah, like
So,
for real.
so
I'm missing out on a lot. Shit.
cons.
Too much.
Erection.
Erection weakness possibility. When a man has too much sex, the varicose veins in the penis can become weak because of their overuse. This can affect the quality of the sperm that ejaculates from the penis, making them more watery and malnourished. This is for you guys that be out here slinging so much dick, and you think that
Slinging,
you
slap,
still
slap, slap,
packing
slap.
and rapping and happening it, and you're not, because what happens is you're overdoing it. Okay, you're overdoing it, and then you can't get it up no more, and you're young. So all that you think you're doing, like all these celebrities out here doing it, slow down a little bit. It ain't going nowhere.
Oh no! The other
That's
day I
my
was
public
watching
service announcement.
I was watching one of the shows, and a 22-year-old
Mhm.
has 27 women babies by him. 27 different women with 27 children by him. And the guy's like, "Do you have a job?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna work. They're gonna work. They're gonna work for their children. They're gonna work for me." I'm
Right,
like, "Yo,
and
he
he'll
gotta be
and
slapped so
and
hard."
about like half of them, if not more, will still
sad.
deal with him.
Oh, yeah,
But
most of the
I'm
time.
just saying, like,
Or all of
men
them.
don't think they get washed up. They think only women get washed up,
That's
and that is so not true. Because it's a lot of guys that was back in the day, and they was looking good, and they sexed themselves all out, and they look like raisins now. Like, it's too much.
Raisins.
Word.
It's the truth, and some of them be young.
Pros and cons of mixing sex and alcohol.
Oh my God.
I'm just not talking about women. I don't want to.
Well, it does say men drink. If they drink too much, they can't get it up.
That's a lie.
No, it's
That's
not.
not true.
It
I-
says right there in the article, sometimes over absorption of alcohol will make you go limp and not be able to keep
Well,
your
I
erection.
get more horny.
My baby daddy needs to drink in order to get it up.
Men.
Oh, okay. I'm like, and so does men though.
He needs
No,
it.
but when it's a point of if you drink just the right amount that it keeps your libido. But if you drink too much, you're like all slithery and soft everywhere. Like you
Not my
can't
boyfriend.
keep it together.
Listen, Cairo was conceived on the Henny Things Possible night. And I tell you what, I don't remember much about it, but, I do
It
remember
worked.
it worked.
It worked. It was
Yeah, I
actually
think
working.
these are all of these articles. Of course, everyone is different, so everybody's affected in a different way. But it says the effect on men. Alcohol and erection drugs are often used simultaneously. The research is sparse, but the few studies show that drinking doesn't compromise erection drug effectiveness unless men binge or alcohol abusers
Yeah,
or
but that's what I'm saying.
alcoholics.
Binging,
That's what I'm
meaning
saying.
It could be
Yeah,
a
not
if it's
just
a
drinking. Of
combination
course,
of
you
both.
that night you
drugs
going
and
out
sex.
after
I
the
mean,
club or y'all
drugs and alcohol.
coming bringing liquor back with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But men that drink too much.
Listen, I haven't had a more better experience than when we had some mollies included into our evening. We popped the molly. We were sweating. That's probably the best sex I had ever had. That's what I look forward to. Some mollies. Over drinking.
That's her. That's her.
Well, you only got 3
Cocktail.
weeks. So
Not
you
too
good. You
go,
up
girl.
and it'll be the summertime too.
Yes.
Not too much to go on. So
Just got to get
Go
my
ahead.
Trovid and we good. My medicine.
Okay, so alcohol and sex. Go ahead.
All right, you got that one. You could.
No, you
I
go,
just
go,
did
go.
the men. I just did the men. You could do the woman.
Okay. Affects women somewhat differently than men. Alcohol intoxication depends on the weight. If a couple consumes the same amount of alcohol and the woman weighs less than the man, she's likely to become more intoxicated. In addition, body
Yeah.
composition differs by gender.
I mean, which is, I mean, that's no, that's something that has been established a long time ago. If he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 300 pounds and you're 120 and you're gonna drink as much as he does, you already know you're in trouble. Period. I don't
Mhm.
care, you know.
Yeah, it says men tend to have more muscle tissue, women more fat. For example, in their breast and hips, gynoid fat, which is true. Alcohol is water soluble. It diffuses out of the bloodstream into the muscle tissue, which reduces the amount that gets into the brain. That's why I
Mhm.
assume we have to
Yeah.
drink a well we can't we don't drink as much as a man does. A man
Right.
can consume it a lot more than we can. But fat tissue is not water soluble. Compared with men of the same weight, more alcohol remains in a woman's bloodstream. It gets into the brain where increases women's intoxication,
Mhm.
which is true. I'll have like 3 or 4 shots and I'm good. You know, he'll be able to drink a damn bottle and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, he's still just like that. In other words, when men and women drink the same amount, women become more intoxicated, which has implications for sexual interest, consent, and function.
Mm.
So, I, I can see that. It increases a woman's sexual desire and arousal up to a point. Mm.
I mean,
It depends on how intoxicated, how much you're drinking, and how intoxicated you get.
I mean, if I'm drinking and I feel nice, I'm nice, 100% nice,
There's
all
been
over.
plenty of times for me where I've had 2 shots and I'll just like pretend like I'm drunk and I'll do that just because I want to be lazy and just want him to just do everything.
Oh, nah, but I want to have it. I'm just saying I'm more like wanting it than usual. When I'm drinking, I feel like in the mood more.
Okay.
I don't
See,
know.
I'm not a drinker. You a drinker? You
I,
guys a
I drink
drinker?
occasionally, but I don't know. Do you?
I don't drink as much as I used to drink, but when I do drink, I.
Really? I'm not a I'm
Say
really
it.
not a drinker. I'm much rather smoke some bud or something.
Yeah,
So
well, it's I guess that's it.
yeah.
That's that's the pros and I mean the
Yep.
what? Yeah, because I don't know, may or may not impair women's
No, that's true. That's true. That's definitely something. It may or may not impair a woman's genital sensitivity. Again, some people drink and it makes them super horny. I drink and I get super drunk and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, hence the reason why I just lay there and act drunk
Oh
because I'm
damn.
being lazy.
And then
And it impairs women's orgasms. I can see that.
meaning
You
it
be
stops them.
it stops it. You're too intoxicated to be able to release the serotonin from the brain, which causes a orgasm. So I can
Which I
see that.
agree with that.
You're thinking about
That is
everything
something that
else.
I truly agree with you on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It does decrease the serotonin release from the brain. So
You can do the points in me. 'Cause
okay.
Casual sex.
Casual sex and possibly serious risks associated with casual sex. 29 studies have addressed the link between alcohol and casual sex. Almost all show a positive association. Booze is integral to casual sex in every age group, especially among teens and young adults.
Yeah.
Are we,
Uh,
called,
this-
are we considered young adults?
No.
I am.
But
I am.
I
She-
like it's true. You shouldn't be out there drinking and not aware of what's going on because you could end up in somebody's car or some like yeah. You that's why you're supposed to have friends with you or
That's a fun
if
night
you
yeah.
That's a fun night for me.
I'm gonna love her.
Wait till y'all see Kara outside of this baby bump. I was like, oh my
I'm
gosh.
scared. I'm truly scared. I think I'm gonna have to hire somebody
Listen,
to go with
this
her.
is what happens when you have lack of sex. See, it starts messing with your brain and you start thinking little things. And I'm telling you, you guys are normal
yeah, I
because
be
you
mad
get
all
it
the
regularly.
time, and I'm
We're
uptight.
normal.
Like that's why, to me, some people that are uptight all the time are not having sex.
That's me. You can't.
Yeah, some people
I be
like
all over
they
Facebook
just
cursing
need to
everybody
release.
out. And I know everybody be like, yo, somebody get this girl some dick, please.
I've
You know.
not seen that.
Oh,
yet.
You're not my
What?
Facebook friend, I don't think.
No, I do, but I don't think you post on the page that I have.
I tag all three of my pages every time I post. I be going. He'll tell you. Truth to tell you, I be going off. I know people be like, "Yo, Kara, something wrong with her, man. Like somebody needs to just."
Yo.
And that's what it is. Honestly, it
So is
really
that what you
messes with
want
you.
for your shower?
But there is a difference. There is a difference between casual sex and
Yeah, and
intimate when you're in a relationship. There's a difference.
I mean, if you're
There's,
not having it, then it makes
hmm?
you sad. Any type, you know. I don't know. I mean, you figure you got these women who go to jail and they're in jail for like 4 or 5 years or whatever.
hmm
When they come out, like they have so much of that serotonin in their brains that they need to release and they want to release. And not even it doesn't even have to be in jail. You could be in a relationship where you're just not being satisfied the way you should be.
Right.
And then when you finally get out of that, it's like, whoo, and
you just want to be
it
free.
messes you up. Yeah, it really does.
Alright.
I'm broken mentally. Seriously. Association with sexual risk taking. More than
Three
3 dozen
dozen.
studies show that alcohol intoxication is strongly associated with sexual risk taking.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's
Because you're
me.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Compare with-
thinking straight
Yeah.
about what you're doing.
Compared with couples who make love sober, those who mix drinking and sex are significantly less likely to discuss contraception and sexual infection prevention. Hello. They're less likely to use a condom. Yep. And if they use condoms, they're less likely to use them properly, which is also very true. Think about it. Think about it. Like you're intoxicated. You're not thinking straight. Shit is happening. Intimacy is happening. That craziness is happening. Like it reminds me of Jay-Z and Beyonce's "Drunk in Love."
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they describe in that song, what happened in the kitchen and all that other stuff, is what ends up happening when you're drunk as hell and you're trying to have sex. You wake up in the kitchen like, what the hell happened? Oh, baby.
Oh,
And that's,
baby, all right.
that's exactly what it's like. Associated with sexual assault and domestic violence. Many studies show a clear connection between alcohol and sexual assault and domestic violence. During assaults, most perpetrators and victims are intoxicated, often so drunk that afterwards they have no clear recollection of what happened. During domestic violence, women may or may not have consumed alcohol, but men usually have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I can see
wow.
that.
Mm,
I can
I
see
could
that.
see it happen.
Be someplace getting beat the hell out of, and the next day be like, yo, I didn't do any of that. Like, yeah,
Or but they'll be like, "What happened to your face again?"
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle was like that. He'll be
I
like
used-
to his wife, "What happened to you?"
I used to have a boyfriend who used to like to bite.
Yeah.
And he used to bite the hell out of my face all the time, like during sex. And I used to hate it, like to the point now today I have to wear cover up to cover bite marks that I still have from this guy. But he
But
used
I
to get
think
so
different
drunk.
alcohol does different things
Things,
to you
yeah.
too.
Really?
Yeah, because when I used to drink Tanqueray gin, I would always cry. Like certain alcohol makes you angry or aggressive or silly or sad. You know what I mean? It depends on what you're drinking sometimes, how you're gonna react. I mean, cause you got your happy drunks and you have your mean drunks. You know what I mean?
See, as a one that's not really a drinker, everything get me toe up. But I know brown liquor, anything dark, tends to make me more sleepier than if I'm drinking like a Patron, like a or a tequila type, straight tequila.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. This is the one. Okay, so
Yeah. So I mean, all right. So what do you think in regards to casual versus a relationship? Like, do you want to be in a relationship when you have the baby?
no.
No, I don't want to be in a relationship ever again. I want to mess with like 5, 6, 7 dudes
But because
from now on.
I don't. I mean,
Yo, I put up a meme on Facebook the other day, and it says, like, being a whore, I was never unhappy when I was a whore. I was, It was trying to be with one person that made me unhappy.
I never really looked at it like that.
Man, listen, I have
You
friends
might
that
have something right there.
listen. I got friends that are out there messing around with
I
seven,
mean,
eight, nine
because you're
dudes,
not
and they
letting
happy.
your heart get in the way. That's the problem. When you're falling in love and you're having sex, sex makes you fall in more love, and then you think you're in love, and you might just be in love with the sex, and then you start having problems with the person,
You
and it becomes a whole big thing,
you gotta be
as
one of those.
opposed to just, I guess, going out on a date, right,
You gotta be
and
one of
not
those
having
women
no.
that
But
can decipher the difference between the two. If it's
right,
gonna be sex, then it's just gonna be sex. Ain't gonna be no feelings involved.
right.
Or I'm gonna be with this one person and I'm gonna catch feelings for this one person. I'm tired of that. I'm like I'm going. I'm straying away from that.
But you miss out on. I mean, I
You're
think
gonna miss out
both.
on an
Okay,
opportunity,
both
though.
both
38. I haven't
things
had any
have
yet.
different advantages
But
and
you can't not
disadvantages.
think
I
of
don't
that.
think there's all. I think both things have advantages and both have disadvantages.
Listen, I've wasted 2 years of my life trying to be with one person. I've gotten nowhere. I'm ready to venture out. I don't want feelings anymore. That's how cold it's made me.
I mean, I think.
Well,
I think.
That's how
I
cold
think
it's made
everyone
me.
has gone through a stage like that where they don't want to fall in love and they don't want to be with anybody. But I don't know how long you can do that. That becomes a lot of people. That's my thing with it. Like that becomes a lot of people.
Listen,
So
nobody's ever gonna take me serious anymore. I got too many kids. I got too much going on. I'm already broken.
Don't
So I
say
might
that.
as it's the truth.
yeah, I mean, you don't have.
It's the
I don't
truth.
think you should say that
Don't
because
say
you
that.
never know.
'Cause
It's
guess what?
not
Your kids are
easy.
already
Listen, I don't
grown.
have. I have 4
Most
kids,
of
and
them
it's
are
hard for
grown.
me with 4 kids. So I feel you. I know what you mean by that, but it doesn't mean that you can't find somebody that's going to take you and love you and treat you the way that you deserve
I
to be
agree with that.
treated.
Oh, okay,
But you also have to know that you deserve that in order to attract that too.
I think you're in a stage right now where you are not feeling it because of the way you're being treated. I think there's going to be a time where you're gonna have to really sift through all this pain that you have endured in these few years that you've been with this guy. Unfortunately, he's not the greatest.
Yeah,
from
because
what
even
you
though
say.
you have feelings for him and you're
Yeah,
hurt because of the
you're hurt.
situation, that doesn't mean that you really want random
But you don't want to
strange men who
Exactly.
aren't gonna care. You already know off the back they're not gonna care.
but I know
So
he doesn't care, and I got 2 kids with him.
But
right,
after
but
you're
that doesn't
done,
mean that
it don't
nobody
mean that
will
Nobody
care.
will care.
That
Listen,
doesn't mean
If I
that.
come across somebody who does, then maybe at
yo,
that point I'll
yeah.
start taking it serious.
That's when we
but
get become bridesmaids. And
I don't think
Shoot,
it's
I'm
coming.
always a fiance, never a bride.
No.
I done been engaged 4 times. Like, when am I gonna
This is
go
it.
walk
I've
down the
I've
aisle?
never
This
been
is
engaged,
it.
not once. So
Your time
know.
is coming.
Yeah.
Give it time. I mean, I think you're gonna need a lot of healing, and if that's how you feel like your healing's gonna be, as going out and being what you want to be, and find any walking person. That's what you said.
straight up.
Then do it. Shoot.
Straight up.
But then there's gonna be a time where you're gonna be like, "This is it."
Yeah, enough is enough.
I'm telling you, it's going to hit you.
That's how I'm feeling about my situation
and right
now.
now, most of your kids are already grown. You only have a few little ones now, but it's not like the end of the world. There's so many women. I mean, as long as they're not the same as these people that I'm hearing on the news, where they'll come and beat your son or daughter up
Right.
Oh,
to
nah.
the point of death.
I don't even want to
then
introduce
you'll
nobody
be
else to my
okay.
kids.
But this is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
me either.
stupid. So you know what you're doing. If this is what you choose to do, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to do it. You understand? And I'm not going to be the one that tells you, oh, shame on her. That's not my job. That's not how, I can't tell you how you should feel or shouldn't feel. But I know deep down that you will come to a time where you are going to find that guy that will be like,
Maybe like in my late 40s or something, but
well,
I'm about
then-
to party.
listen.
You know
that's
what? You
fine.
find that guy, and when that guy doesn't turn out to be that guy, just move on from
Move
it.
on. That's
Don't
it.
see that's the thing. We expect things, and we are supposed to do our part. But when you do your part and you know you did it right and you did it how you were supposed to,
And then get enough
and
from it.
didn't get what you were supposed to get,
Walk.
you can walk away and not have to feel bad
Even if you
because
have
you know
5
that you
kids
did
by
what you were
that
supposed to
person,
do.
it don't
So
matter.
then it leaves you open to accept somebody else because you know what you're worthy of. You know what I mean? Don't let somebody's mistreatment make you mistreat yourself. And we've all been, I'm not saying I never was in a place where I didn't care about myself or demand what I was worth or know what I was worth or anything like that. But when you get to the point where you can look at yourself and say, I deserve this, 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 and that, you're not going to take anything other than that. Now, you might let people in your life and let them give you the opportunity to prove whether, but you have to give it a certain, and it's not always a certain amount of time or, you look at certain things that are happening. We have to take account of what's going on because that's where we waste time when we don't pay attention to what's going on at the time.
Like you just
And
said.
then, you know,
Like you
but
just said,
I'm
I'm about
always
to walk out. Like I'm
I'm
going to
always
walk
ready
away.
for a new beginning if it has to happen because I give my all when I'm in a situation.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
nobody's going to stop me from getting what I deserve and nobody is going to mistreat me. So, you know, if one doesn't do right, another one will.
That's why I'm gonna have options.
That's it. And then you have an open door for anything that you want to
Absolutely.
do or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um. So, anyways, let's get to the STDs. Oh shoot. So STDs are infections that are transmitted during any type of sexual contact. Many STDs in women do not cause specific symptoms. Common STDs in women include chlamydia, gonorrhea, HPV, genital herpes, and Zika virus. Now, it says antibiotics treatment can cure STDs caused by bacteria, including chlamydia, syphilis, and gonorrhea. No cure is available for some STDs like HIV, chronic hepatitis B infection, but medications are available to manage these chronic conditions. You know more than us. You work in that field and you studied a lot. So,
Seen a lot.
complications of STDs depend upon the specific type of illness, but pelvic inflammatory disease and infertility are complications of some STDs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Condoms can protect against some, but not all STDs, and are never 100% effective in protecting against STDs.
Hmm.
So, what's your take on these? I know that the herpes,
Yeah. Non-curable.
that's non-curable, right?
No.
That's like something that even when you give birth, like it's in your body. So when you give birth, you have to do like a C-section. So
It depends. If you're having an outbreak during the time that you go into labor and
mhm.
give birth, the only way you can spread herpes is if during the time of sex you have an open wound. You cannot spread herpes unless there are, like the blisters there.
Yeah.
If they're not there, you can't.
Wow.
So you can have sex
So
with
you
somebody with herpes and not get it. It's not like HIV where there's like the vaginal fluid that goes into the urethra of a man and that's how it's spread. You got to have an open wound for herpes,
Wow.
and they can be either in the mouth, in the anus, or in the vagina. So, and that's for both men and women.
What's the common what's like the common one, like what's the highest common STD in women, you think?
Either chlamydia or trichomosis.
I've never heard of that.
It's a trick. It's similar to chlamydia, except with trichomosis, women have more of like the cottage cheese discharge. So there's no way to not be able to tell that you have that.
Damn.
Yeah. It's just as curable as
Oh,
chlamydia.
so it's curable.
Yeah, but a lot of these STDs, especially chlamydia and trichomonas, do cause infertility in women. They can have it for years and not like years, and it lies dormant in the body. And if you're trying to conceive a baby, you're wondering
Wow.
why I can't. So one of the first thing a doctor
Damn.
does will check for an STD first, and 9 out of 10 times there is one that you had no idea for years you had. And if you're with that same partner, you're basically just passing it back and forth to each other.
Mm.
Wow.
So
Whoa. I
number
didn't know
one
about
cause
that.
of infertility is STD. They check that first.
Oh, crap. Like,
It can
it
happen.
actually can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I've seen it so many times with working in a GYN office. Woman has no idea that it's been something that she's been holding on to for 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years.
Well, what isn't she getting checked when she goes to the doctor?
I tell
Like
you
the
what,
isn't a Pap smear check?
no.
No.
So what checks
No,
for
no.
You have
that?
to have
Pap
an
smear
actual.
doesn't.
Uh.
You have to have that all combined. When I
No,
go,
but you don't ask
no,
for.
you have to.
You have to get a
You,
GC chlamydia test in order for
yeah.
the test to be run. You have to be tested specifically for
They're all
herpes
different tests.
in
Oh,
order to
okay.
find out if you
So
have
you go and
herpes.
ask for a
Yes.
test.
You have to ask
basically.
You
for a
have to ask
specific
for it.
test. But if you're having infertility issues,
Mm-hmm.
they run a whole panel on you and they'll check you for
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Unless you have a specific reason to feel like you might have come in contact with an STD, a pap smear is not going to check.
Yeah.
A regular, look, it's been years, doctor, since I've been checked for chlamydia. Can you check it out?
Yeah.
And then they'll run the culture for chlamydia.
I
on it.
always get my HIV test regularly,
Me
but I
too.
don't really get other tests regularly. I
No,
think because probably
have
you
to
think that
ask,
you
though.
have the symptoms most of the time. You'll think you
No.
have
Nah,
some.
there's no
No, I'm just
symptoms.
saying most
Yeah,
we
most of the
we
things
think
they're-
like we're gonna
The-
have symptoms, so we don't think to get
Right.
checked for
What
it.
about the guy? What's one of like some NBA? I think had the mono.
Mono. Yeah,
Mono,
that's not sexually transmitted.
What is
It's
that? Is that a sexual
But it's
thing?
contagious, though,
It's
right?
it's highly contagious. It's called mononucleosis, and it is transmitted from saliva in the mouth.
Okay.
So if someone has it in their mouth, or they have oral sex with somebody, they can pass it, or it's passed or called the kissing disease, which means they can pass it back and forth to each other through kissing. But it's not really in the class of a sexually transmitted disease. Everybody gets mono one time in their life, and you can never get it again. Some people have mono and they don't even know they have it, whereas other people have the yellowing or jaundice of the eyes, which cause the white part of the eye to turn yellow, or the meningitis symptoms like pain on one side of the head, not able to move the neck. So they check for mono.
So mono is not a sexual transmit disease.
Nope, it's
well,
like the
because
chicken
you're
pox.
not having
It's in the
sex when
same
you
class.
kiss, unless when you I mean,
Well,
but like
yeah,
you
but
said.
still, like won't they. I think it's gonna become something.
Nah, mono is in the same class as like a chicken pox. You get it one time. Everybody has had it. If you
What?
check everybody in here for mono, we've all had it at
I
one
didn't have
point.
it. I don't even.
You probably
But
didn't even know you had
So
it.
it just goes away.
Do you need to be
Like, if you
like,
have it, how
tested?
do you
Like,
not
you need
have
to
it anymore?
Medication for it?
No. Sometimes mono goes away on its own. It depends on what you have. You either have mono or heterophile, which is like the same thing as mono, but it's a little bit of a less dose. If you get tested for mononucleosis, IgG, which is our antibodies or IgM antibodies, and you've had heterophile before, it's going to come out as like a positive test. But I promise you, you could have been 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, came across it, and didn't even know you had it.
Oh wow!
My son had mono, and he had no symptoms. But when my daughter got it, she had the fever, she had the body ache, she had the yellowing of the eyes. So it all depends on how your body fights off the.
I'm just wow because my son's cousin had it,
Mm-hmm.
but she had it really bad. They had to take her to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
She was hospitalized.
Listen.
Her mother was gonna kill her. And when the doctors told her, and I was like, "Are you sure though?" My son's like, "Oh yeah, mom." Like I'm like,
Yeah. It's very contagious. Like I said, you get it one time in life, like chickenpox. It
I know
comes.
chickenpox. I had it,
it
but I
goes.
had no. I had
Listen,
no idea that you
we
know,
all get it. Everybody in life gets mono.
wow.
Everybody. You get it once and never get it
You
again.
got it too, girl.
At one point.
I mean, I like kissing, so.
So it's okay to get it. Shoot. Um, well, thank you for
Mhm.
coming tonight. This was a fun show. We got to see Egypt before her birth, before coming
The big old belly.
to this little world. I just have something coming up, so I just want to put it out there. I will not be here on the week of. Wait, I'm just trying to see because remember I'm blind. March 20th. I will be in PA in Pennsylvania. I will be going to Maryland to congratulate my true friend Miss Ira Warren. Her life story is going to be on screen, so I'm excited as
Oh, that's good.
I am so thrilled. She's one of she's one of a few
Congratulations
women
to her.
to yes, her story is going to be finally on the big screen, and I am one of her VIP guests. So
Nice.
it's going to be like a nice night. So I'm heading to PA. I feel weird that I'm going by myself, but he's like, no, go, like, go. I was like, okay. He's like, bye. So I'm leaving Friday, so I won't have my show on that Friday, and I won't be back until Sunday. So I'm going to go spend some time with her. Haven't
That's
seen her in a
nice.
bit. But yeah, she was my first guest on What is the Definition of Love. So she kind of,
And she
Yeah.
played my aunt in the
She
trailer
was on
to A
there,
Woman
yes.
Scorns.
so yeah, so congratulations to you, Miss Ira Warren. I am so
Congratulations.
excited for your event. I will bring the event up again next week and get more details on where it's going to be if people want to buy tickets. I think it's for everybody who wants to go. Maryland, it will be in Maryland, so I'm excited.
Nice.
So thank you. I will see. We will see you Saturday because
Okay.
Saturday she has her baby shower,
Yay.
and her baby boy is going to be 1, so his
Yes.
birthday is also going to be celebrated that day. So yay, party! We're all gonna be there. So see you all. Bye, everybody.
Good
See you
night,
tomorrow. Good night.
everybody.
Bye.